What's up guys, Scott here with Wandering the Wilderness, and today we're going to do a little bit of a product review of the VLitePro Adventure Trauma Kit. Now they did send this to me. I have kind of opened it up and just briefly glanced at it, but was going to do a quick unboxing and kind of show you all of its contents. Stick with me guys. Alright guys, before we tear into this Adventure Trauma Kit by VLitePro, I just wanted to show you, I do have a variety of kits already put together in your basic kind of IFAK. They do have the, your pain relievers, they have the Benadryls, they have tourniquets, shears, gauze, pressure dressing, all those kinds of things to basically stop the bleeding. Some of them have a quick clot, some have, they also have chest seals. I think a couple of them also have, I believe this one does, SAM splint, quick clot with a gauze, ice packs, ace bandages, triangle bandages. I'm allergic to yellow jackets, so I tend to keep EpiPens. I have scissors. I also keep powdered drink mix for get your electrolytes in case you're you got a lot of water but you weren't getting any electrolytes. And when you're boiling water too, that stuff after a while will start to taste kind of gross, so having something to just switch it up is always nice when you're out in the field. And again, they all got some form of a trauma shear either in them or outside of them. Little kit, this one has thermometer, Vaseline, saline, the eye wash, markers, different things like that, gloves, duct tape, ace bandages, alright, all the stuff, okay? I got that in all of the kits, alright, which is kind of the main things that you really need in your first aid kits. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this VLitePro Adventure Trauma Kit and see what we got inside here. And with that said, guys, I don't work in the medical field. All right. When I was in the Army, I did go through your basic first aid, and Army doesn't do CPR. And then I also did the Combat Lifesaver course when I deployed to Iraq. They wanted as many people getting their CLS certification and getting larger first aid kits, which did include IVs, catheters, and saline for heat stroke and things like that. I did stick 2 people with IVs when deployed in Iraq, but I've not done anything outside of your basic first aid since that point in time. So I am not a medical professional. Just putting that out there. I just have done a variety of first aid classes and the like, okay? But every person, even your basic homeowner, your basic, every single citizen, especially in America with the even the lower income, we're still richer than majority of the world. So if you can put back and have a little bit of first aid for you, your family, you never know what kind of thing is going to happen around the house. You bump your head, one of your kids gets injured, all kinds of stuff happens. And so by having some first aid kits and some basic first aid knowledge, is very beneficial and can make a big difference by the time you actually get to the emergency room or, God forbid, a grid down scenario. You're relying on the stuff that you have at home to take care of your emergencies, or, in even worse cases, right? Civil war, revolution, enemy evasion, any kind of thing like that. In today's world, we could have stinking aliens popping out. Who knows, right? So having stuff on hand is always a good idea. So with that said as well, this isn't all of the first aid. I have a large tote full of first aid with my other preps that I keep in a secured location. And then I also have books inside there on first aid and emergency medicine, as well as a variety of books I have in my collection on medicinal herbs that have been used traditionally for a very long time. So anyway, with all that said, let's get into this VLitePro adventure trauma kit. All right, so far obviously it's in a good pouch. All right, it's a good size kit. It is does have the molly, and something that I like that only one of mine, this one here that I got from LA Police Gear, has the tearaway. All right, so I like the tearaway option. Okay, that one has it, and this one has it. Okay, one thing I noticed on this one though, you do have to hit the initial buckle to do the tearaway. All right, so the idea behind that tearaway is that if you're having it on your kit, whether that be on your, you got something like this set up on your body armor, or you have it say on a backpack or something like that, you know, your IFAK, the purpose of the IFAK is it's supposed to be used on you, right? Every person has their own first aid kit, and if you get injured, the contents of that first aid kit are supposed to be used on you. You're not using your first aid on someone else. That's the way I was trained in the Army. Everybody carries first aid. You use the person's first aid it's on their person. All right. So the benefit of this, say this is what is on your patrol pack, right? And it needs to get got quickly. You don't want to be fooling with trying to unweb the molly or trying to unzip and dump the contents. All right. You can unhook and you can just tear that whole thing off. The molly stays attached to the kit, and now you have the first aid kit and you can go help. All right. Or say in what we would consider maybe what majority of individuals, when you're not looking at a patrol pack or you're not looking at your body armor, a lot of people get that molly or that laser cut and they put it on, say, the back seat of their truck or SUV or whatever. You know, people doing off-roading and they get all that laser cut stuff, and then you molly web stuff. All right, so you could have something like this in your vehicle and you can easily tear it away to access that first aid where you need it. All right, so I really like tearaway if you can have it. All right, so I think that's pretty cool setup on the bag. We do have a red cross here so that we're got an identifier that this is a first aid kit. And you know, I love America, so why not have the American flag? You know, and there's nothing wrong with loving the country that you're from, or the country that you live in. So anyway, now we will take a look at its contents. All right, looks like everything kind of dumps pretty well. Everything's quite secure and organized. Everything holds in place like it should. Comes with a little very basic kind of we'll say first aid instructions. Fractures, burns, bleeding. It's very, very minimal. You know, I wouldn't rely on this, but it's good that there's at least something in there. All right. Inside the kit here, looks like down at this bottom we have our medical tape, and let's see, we got some disposable gloves. These aren't they're latex. These are the super cheap ones, you know, but they are good, and you know, it's better than having absolutely nothing. But you know, you can easily replace these, and they're meant to be used and replaced. All right, and it comes with a handful of safety pins. Now, these are very beneficial, particularly with triangle bandages, in my experience. You know, and you can also use them in a variety of different ACE bandages, things like that. But if you're trying to brace a broken arm or something of that sort, it really helps to kind of tuck out all that stuff. Especially if, say, you're in the backcountry, which is what this is set up for. You don't want all those loose ends of something, you know, a splint or something like that, getting caught on branches or briars or anything like that when you're trying to get somebody help. So using those safety pins to kind of secure everything, clean it up, that makes a pretty big difference. Now, it does have another type SAM splint, which these are very beneficial. And I would add, prior to ever needing any of this stuff, take some of this stuff out of these packages. When somebody is really needing it, you don't want to have to fool with this little plastic wrapper. All right, so I understand putting it on there for shipping or anything like that, but before you decide to take it into the field, take that crap off. You don't want to be wasting time when somebody's in need. All right. All right. Now they show this as a tourniquet. Now, when I seen this, I was not sold on this as a tourniquet. All right, it's just a pretty elastic strap with some type of contraption here. I don't even know how you're supposed to use this thing. The plastic right there feels like a little cheap to me. I feel like you could probably, in a pinch, use it. I mean, it's got some tension to it. I don't know how to use that. I don't know what that is. It's advertised as a tourniquet. I don't particularly see how that's supposed to work. So if it were me, I wouldn't rely on that. I would replace it with something like this, which is the TMT, the Tactical Mechanical Tourniquet. This is the one that the Army has switched to, right? So you want to switch it up to something that's solid and going to work, okay? So you got your clip there, all right? You got your solid Velcro, has the pull instructions to make it idiot-proof. You got your nice solid piece to do your twisting to tighten it up, and a piece there to lock it in place, all right? So that's what you want to see in a tourniquet, okay? Not something that doesn't even make sense. All right. So anyway, I would use something different. I don't know what that is, but spend some money, get a solid tourniquet. All right, this here is, I think it's something to do with CPR. So you put this over their face and you put your mouth on that to do the breathing. So you're not, putting your lips on somebody else, which, that's a good idea. I don't want to put my lips on some strange weirdo or something. And most of the time when I'm out and about, it seems like I'm always hanging out with the guys. So no Brokeback Mountain over here. So anyway, we got some dressings. This is a variety of, looks like some wipes and antiseptics and stings and all the little things for, it says prep and disinfect. All right, so you got your dressing and to prepare or clean up the wound and disinfect it, kind of get that bacteria out of there. So all good things right there. All right, and here, this is a compression gauze bandage. So it is vacuum sealed so that it is compressed. But when you go to use that, the whole point is that extra pressure that you're needing to put on a heavy wound to try and stop that bleeding. So I really like that. It's been compressed really well, so it takes up very little space. So it shows that it is 4.5 inches by 4 yards. All right, so that's good. Getting a triangle bandage. All right, so these I don't see, as it seems like there's not as many people talk about these or use these as much, but these are hugely beneficial, especially for, like they're showing here on the front, using it as a sling. You can use it to, wrap a head wound. I mean, a lot of our first aid we did in the Army, we was using this for everything. So, I mean, it's a very versatile piece of kit. Now, all your first aid kits should have a solid marker. One of the things that we did in the CLS Combat Lifesaver course is that we would take an individual's heart rate or pulse, and we would mark the time. So say if somebody was unconscious, we would draw on their arm, on their forehead. You'd mark the time that you took their blood pressure and what their blood or their heart rate and what their heart rate was, so that you could kind of keep track of that, and you don't have to remember it. You can use the marker, mark it on their skin somewhere. That way, even when you pass that person on to the real medic, that information's right there on their skin. All right, so you always want a solid working marker in your kit, and it doesn't hurt to have a notebook too, but a marker needs to be in every kit. All right, we got looks like a pretty solid pair of shears. It says stainless steel. I mean, looks pretty solid to me. Pair of tweezers. You get all kinds of stuff, splinters and shards of metal, or anything. Those are very beneficial. All right, let's see what we got here. This is a emergency trauma bandage. All right, so this is a 6-inch wound dressing. So another really large wrap that you can kind of cover everything up. You can put that compression gauze on there, wrap it all up with this, and you can stop that bleeding, which is kind of the whole main thing, especially in the backcountry. You got some bleeding, heavy bleeding, you want that to stop as quick as possible. All right, now we have a more gauze back here in the back. And we got another little pocket here. Let's see. Oh, emergency blanket. You know, always great to have. And this one is a wound care. So these are going to be Band-Aids and larger wound dressings. All right, so all in all, looks like a pretty solid kit with everything that you're getting inside here. Again, some of these things like this, I would go ahead and open up and get that plastic off of it. The only thing that I see that I don't even see how it is supposed to work, and that is this so-called tourniquet thing. I mean, I see the elasticity of that potentially being able to do something, but that's not a tourniquet. All right, so all in all, it looks like a solid kit. In my opinion, it comes with tons of the things that every kit should have, and it seems like it's pretty well thought out. I would, you know, I already said what I said about this. Solid kit, especially for the money. To get this much first aid, shears, and all these little things, a SAM splint, all of these inside of this pack for like 40 bucks, even if this tourniquet is garbage, this in itself is still a great value, in my opinion. So anyway, I don't know if you guys are interested in this kind of stuff. I feel like the two items that are most commonly overlooked, we're going to go ahead and throw in this. This is a tourniquet. We're going to throw in this tourniquet here. All right, go ahead and put that in that kit. And that kit is put together properly. All right. And so, anyway, I don't know if you guys are into the whole first aid kind of thing, but I think the two most overlooked things that prepper or the prepared citizen community, the two most overlooked because they just don't have the cool factor, is first aid and comms. All right, and to be honest, they're probably some of the most important. If you can't talk with each other, you can't organize, and if you can't organize, you can't really put in work. The lone wolf doesn't really survive. All right, so comms and first aid, if you're bleeding out, what good are you? All right, so you know, trying to be an asset, not a liability. You know, you need to be skilled in first aid and have your own first aid together. So all in all, solid kit, especially for the money, minus that. Everything else, well worth it. So anyway, if this is something you guys are interested in, something that you guys, you know, you kind of like seeing this kind of type of content, you like this kit, I'm going to leave that description down with like an Amazon affiliate link down below. I get the tiniest percentage, like sales commission. That's the type of thing that supports our channels. YouTube doesn't seem to like the 2A type community, the prepared citizen type community. The views just, some days they're awesome, and some days you say the wrong word and they crush you. So anyway, those are the types of things that help support, you know, me being able to get gear and be able to put videos out there and show you guys stuff and talk to you about stuff. So anyway, I appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me. I do want to thank VLitePro for sending this kit out for me to take a look at and to review. Again, well worth the money. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. God bless.